Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setups for today. So the longer this goes, the more this is starting to look like a top. We do have buyers still coming in off the bottom here, but we're so far from the moving averages. Look at the oscillators, groups the upside, starting to point the downside. This here, I've said it often. You see, that's the channel, that's the break above the channel, and typically, you know, this is seen as a break above a channel like this typically really plays out. The breaks below play out and they target these downside areas here. But when you break above, you've only got a 25% probability, if that, to move to the upside. And we're kind of just hovering here. There is a lot of overhead resistance here. And you can just see that. Don't even need to go to higher time frame. You can see from March how we've been pivoting around this area here at 12,274, and that's exactly where we are again today. So I just want to delete this. I'm very, very cautious at the moment. I don't trust what I'm seeing. The longer this goes on, the higher the probability of a coin toss break. So in other words, you might as well just toss a coin and play whichever play heads or play tails. At the moment, this is really not looking like much structure. The daily, it does look a little bit like a top. You've got two big tails, but then this long tail to the downside does concern me a bit. That just indicates buyers came in yesterday. We do have the crossover. We've got the oscillators all grouped to the upside here. Everything here is screaming there is a pullback to be expected, and I would expect that on the daily. I'd expect it to come and test the moving average breaks at least, and then there's some pretty significant breaks all in this area here, which I would prefer to be tested before we start going on our merry journey. But the data is, the economic data is not working with this rally at the moment, so political noise is not working with the rally either. So at the moment, this is kind of in no man's land. 3 hours actually not giving us any info that we need. And the hour is just telling me we are sideways, we are up and about, and it is just getting bigger swings. You can see we sort of gradually move up, and then we have big moves. The significant that we have at the moment is that kind of was the previous bit of structure, and you can see we were above it yesterday at the close, but we've dropped below it this morning. So I would expect us to be looking for a rejection here, to be honest. It's and the more I look at this, the more it's starting to look like a short is brewing. So what I'd be looking for at the open is a gap is closed, so that would be significant, but we do have with market closed as well, which is going to be, that won't be there. Just give me 1 sec so we can just see where the market close bar is. It's going to be somewhere in this area. So somewhere in this area is the market close. So that is, let's just put a level in there. I don't know exactly where it is, but don't really care about that. I just want to know roughly where it is. So you can see that after the market closed, excuse me, after the market closed, we fell fairly significantly, and that was during the US Open, and then we're just like confused. So I would expect us, if we start dropping, if we start rejecting this area at 14,274 or alternatively 14,241, then I would expect us to basically target the bottom here. Although we have targeted that. So yeah, it's either going to be we target here and then we just continue ranging, or we reject this area, we break through here, we bump our heads on 14,178, and then I would expect us, so it's on a 3 hour, then I'd expect us to move back down to this area here at 13,713. So it is looking like a top, but I don't want to jump in on it. I really don't like picking tops anyway. So that's kind of my view at the moment is, if we start rejecting this 14,274, we've got some fairly decent price action here at the open, then you have a 50-point stop loss, which is quite attractive. Your stop is going to be above these tails here, and we're on the 15-minute. And then as soon as we get going, I would move stop to entry, because I'm still concerned that we hit this 14,178 and then bounce back up to the top of the range. So the ultimate one that you're looking for is a break below 14,178 or 14,170 and a retest of this area. That would confirm the move to the downside. And then you have a target fairly far away at 13,700. I think 1,400 would probably hold up price a little bit. You expect a bit of a bounce, and then you have another opportunity to get in shorts again for a second attempt at 1,400 for a break to the downside. So that's kind of what I'm seeing at the moment. On the weekly, starting to look like an exhaustion bar here. There's not much weekly resistance in this area except for the bottom of our range, which is here at 14,178. So you can see that's the previous weekly resistance. So very, very possible. And I just want to add this weekly level in here, which is also important to pay attention to, which is here, which is the neckline of the double bottom, and that sits at 13,974. So that's going to be fairly close to 1,400. So yeah, so I'd expect some kind of a pullback onto one of these two levels, and then what we should see is if price is going to hold that for a continuation or not. At the moment, anybody's guess, so be very, very careful. Anyway, if you're still listening, drop us a comment there, just give us a thumbs up or say hi. Curious to see how many people watch to the end. Hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.